What if I told you that everything you've been taught about manifestation is only half the truth? That the vision boards, the affirmations, the endless hustle to think positive aren't failing because you lack discipline, but because you've been playing the wrong game. Here's the part no one ever dares to say out loud. Manifestation isn't about doing more. It's about being more aligned. And until you understand that, you'll keep wondering why your reality feels stuck, like you're trapped in a loop, even when you swear you're doing everything right. So don't scroll, because the next few minutes might flip everything. You thought you knew about how the universe and your life really works. And before we go deeper, hit subscribe now so you don't lose this thread. When the noise of the world tries to pull you back into autopilot, trust me, you'll want to stay connected for what's coming. I didn't believe in any of this at first. To me, manifestation was a cute word people threw around on social media while lighting candles and repeating phrases in the mirror. But then, life cornered me. I was at one of the lowest points I'd ever been. My bank account was nearly empty. My relationships were collapsing, and my health felt like it was fraying at the edges. From the outside, I looked fine. On the inside, I was crumbling. One night, lying on my bedroom floor, I whispered the question we all ask when the chaos gets too loud. What am I doing wrong? Why isn't anything working? And something strange happened. Not a mystical lightning bolt, not an angelic voice descending from the clouds, but a silence so complete it felt alive. It was like the universe itself had paused, waiting for me to notice it. That was the first time. I felt it, the subtle hum of what I now know as the quantum field, the place where everything begins before it becomes physical. At first, I didn't understand what was happening, but over the next few days, tiny coincidences started piling up. A book practically fell off a shelf in a bookstore and landed at my feet. A book about energy and consciousness. A stranger said something oddly specific to me in passing, like they were reading my private thoughts. My phone glitched and opened a random video about physics I had never searched for. It was as if reality itself was whispering clues, and slowly, a pattern began to emerge. Here's what I discovered. The quantum field doesn't respond to what you say you want. It responds to what you are, the frequency you broadcast through your beliefs, your nervous system, your very presence. Most people never manifest their desires not because they're lazy or unworthy, but because they're out of alignment. They send mixed signals, a smile on the outside, but fear buzzing underneath. And the quantum field, it's like a mirror. It doesn't care about your words. It reflects your truth. Think about it like this. Imagine standing in front of a mirror and shouting, "I am confident. I am abundant. I am loved." But deep down, your body is trembling with insecurity and scarcity. The mirror doesn't lie. It shows what's real, not what you say. That's why so many manifestation techniques fail. People focus on doing, scripting, visualizing, forcing outcomes instead of becoming the version of themselves who naturally attracts those outcomes. It's like trying to tune a radio by yelling at it, when all you needed to do was adjust the dial. Once I realized this, I stopped obsessing over lists of goals and started focusing on my state of being. And let me tell you, it was uncomfortable. Because facing the truth meant admitting how much of my life was built on fear. I remember one specific morning. I woke up, opened my journal, and instead of writing what I wanted to manifest, I wrote down every single belief I had about myself. Some of it was brutal to read. I don't deserve real love. Money only comes through struggle. I can't trust anyone to support me. Those beliefs were like static interference in my signal to the quantum field, and as long as they remained hidden, they were running the show. So I started the real work, alignment work, not forcing positivity, but slowly shifting my inner frequency, breathing, embodied practices, moments of stillness where I could feel the quiet hum of the field beneath the noise of my mind, Maybe as you're listening right now, you feel a little tug in your chest, like something deep inside you recognizes these words. Even if part of your mind is skeptical, that's because the truth doesn't need convincing. It resonates. It vibrates through you like a tuning fork. And here's the most liberating part. You don't have to earn alignment. You return to it. It's who you've always been, under the layers of fear and programming. In the next part of this journey, I'm going to show you the biggest mistake people make when they try to manifest, and why it keeps them looping in frustration, even when they think they're doing everything right. Once you see it, you'll never be able to unsee it, and it will completely change how you approach your desires. But for now, take a deep breath, feel your body. Notice the subtle hum beneath your skin. That's not just you. That's the field listening. When I first started aligning with the quantum field, I thought I understood what energy work meant. But what I didn't realize is that most of us are carrying hidden contradictions in our vibration. On the surface, we say, I want abundance, I want love, I want freedom. But underneath, our nervous system is screaming, I'm not safe, I don't deserve it, it's too much. And here's the thing, the quantum field doesn't listen to your words. It listens to the signal you're broadcasting, moment by moment. It's like a cosmic Wi-Fi network, and your subconscious mind is the password. Here's the mistake I promise to reveal. Most manifestation techniques are built on force. They try to push reality into submission. Vision boards, affirmations, repeating the same desire until your voice goes hoarse. But manifestation isn't about forcing, it's about tuning. Think of it like a radio. If you want to hear jazz music, you don't yell at the station to play it. You turn the dial until the frequency matches. Your desires work the same way. If you're trying to manifest love while holding a deep fear of abandonment, the signal gets scrambled. If you're visualizing wealth while secretly believing that money is evil or hard to get, the field will reflect the fear, not the fantasy. Here's the truth. Manifestation isn't about creating something out of thin air. It's about aligning with what already exists in the quantum field. It's about believing, about trusting in your true intentions, your genuine feelings, aligned thoughts, and desired purposes, and then simply letting go, allowing the flow to attract into your field the best circumstances, strategies, and opportunities. Be open to move toward your manifestations, and keep your eyes ready to see the paths that will unfold before you. I know this can sound mystical or even a little too woo-woo, so let me ground it in science for a moment. Quantum physics has shown us that reality isn't as solid as it looks. At its core, everything, even thoughts, is made up of vibrating particles. And these particles don't exist in fixed positions until they're observed. This is known as the observer effect. In other words, consciousness itself influences reality. This is where quantum manifestation begins. When you observe your desires, not just with your eyes, but with your emotions, your senses, your belief system, you collapse infinite possibilities into one chosen reality. This is what spiritual traditions call the zero-point field, a space where everything is connected, where past, present, and future are all happening simultaneously. When you access this field, you stop being a victim of random chance and start becoming a co-creator of your reality. Let me tell you about the night this really hit me. I was sitting in meditation, honestly, a little skeptical. My mind was racing, filled with bills I couldn't pay and arguments I hadn't resolved. But then, something shifted. For a split second, I felt myself dissolve, not in a scary way, in a deeply peaceful way. It was like my edges blurred, and I became part of something vast and infinite. In that moment, I understood. I'm not separate. I'm not small. I am the field, and the field is me. When I opened my eyes, nothing around me had changed. My apartment was still tiny, my problems still unsolved. But I had changed, and within days, opportunities began to flow that made no logical sense. a job offer I hadn't applied for, an old friend calling with exactly the advice I needed, unexpected money showing up in my account. It wasn't magic, it was alignment. The external world was simply mirroring the new internal frequency I was broadcasting. Here's where most people get it wrong. They try to think their way into manifestation, but the quantum field doesn't speak English or Spanish or any human language. It speaks vibration. So how do you change your vibration? Not by thinking harder, but by embodying the state you desire. Here are 3 practices I used that completely shifted my reality. Sensory immersion. Close your eyes and feel your desired reality as if it's happening now. Don't just picture it, smell the air, hear the sounds, notice the textures. The more senses you engage, the stronger the signal you send to the field. Emotional calibration. Identify the core emotion you want: love, safety, freedom. Spend 5 minutes a day simply feeling that emotion, even without external triggers. This reprograms your nervous system to match the frequency of your desire. Release the outcome. This might sound counterintuitive, but once you've aligned your energy, let go. Desperation is like static interference. Trust that the field is working, even when you can't see results yet. A friend of mine was trying to manifest a relationship. She was doing all the typical things, dating apps, even scripting letters to her future partner, but she kept attracting unavailable people. When we dug deeper, she realized her core frequency was fear of abandonment. So even though she said she wanted love, her signal was, "Don't get too close. I'll get hurt." We worked together on emotional calibration, feeling safe and worthy, without needing another person to validate her. Within weeks, she met someone who matched that frequency: healthy, stable, present. It wasn't magic, it was alignment. Here's the hidden layer most manifestation teachings ignore. Your subconscious mind runs the show. 95% of your thoughts, actions, and emotional reactions are programmed by old experiences, traumas, and cultural conditioning. You can't just think positive on the surface and expect that to override decades of subconscious programming. This is why inner work, shadow work, meditation therapy is so crucial. It clears the static so your signal to the field is clear and coherent. Think of it like cleaning a dirty mirror. When the mirror is smudged, you can't see your reflection clearly. When it's clean, reality reflects exactly what you are. Right now, you might be thinking, okay, I get it. Alignment matters. But how do I trust the process when my physical reality looks so different from what I want? That's the hardest part, staying aligned when nothing seems to be working. In the final part of this journey, I'll share how to hold your vibration steady, even in the chaos. And I'll reveal the one shift that will turn manifestation from a fragile hope into an unshakable power. Take a breath. You're closer than you think. The field is already listening and responding. I used to believe manifestation was about chasing signs, chasing synchronicities, chasing the perfect alignment where the universe would finally give me what I wanted. But here's the truth, I learned the hard way. The moment you chase, you tell the universe, I don't have it. And the quantum field mirrors that back. I remember sitting on my balcony one night, surrounded by vision boards and affirmation cards. My walls were covered in quotes like some kind of spiritual battlefield, and yet inside, silence, no magic, just frustration. That night, I stopped asking, why isn't this working? Instead, I whispered, what if it already is? And something inside me shifted. Because manifestation isn't about doing more. It's about becoming more aligned with the version of you who already has it. Think about tuning a radio. If you want to hear jazz, you don't yell at the pop station to change. You change the frequency. Your thoughts, your emotions, even the rhythm of your breath, they are all frequencies. The quantum field doesn't respond to what you say you want. It responds to what you are. This is why so many manifestation techniques fail. People visualize their dream life, while secretly vibrating with doubt and fear. They repeat mantras, but their subconscious is screaming, "This isn't real." And the field always listens to the real signal, not the performance. Scientists talk about the zero-point field, the invisible web connecting everything. When you access that space through stillness, gratitude, and alignment, you stop being separate from what you desire. You become the desire itself. And that's when reality shifts to match you. Here's the simplest way I've found to tap into it. 1. Breathe deeply and anchor yourself in the present moment. 2. Feel gratitude, not for what you want, but for what already exists. Gratitude dissolves resistance faster than anything. 3. Visualize, but don't beg. Imagine your desire as already done. Live it in your mind like a memory. 4. Let go. This is the hardest step. Stop checking for results like you're tracking a package. Trust the field. I've seen this transform my own life in ways logic could never explain. Relationships healed. Opportunities appeared out of nowhere. And even this very moment, you listening to me right now, is part of a manifestation I set into motion long before I understood how deeply connected we all are. But here's something important. Manifestation isn't about controlling the universe. It's about aligning with it. Sometimes that means your ego won't get exactly what it asked for. It will get something better, something your higher self was already calling in. The field reflects every signal you send, every thought, every emotion, every single second. So, let me leave you with a question tonight. Before you go to sleep, close your eyes and ask, what frequency am I becoming? Not what do I want? Not when will it come? Simply, who am I being in this moment? Because that answer is already shaping your tomorrow. And if this message resonates with you, if you feel like something inside just clicked, don't let it fade when life gets noisy again. Hit subscribe, not for me, but for you, so you can stay connected to a space where these truths are spoken, and where you're reminded that you are never manifesting alone. The quantum field is always at work. The only question is, what are you broadcasting? You are not here to chase. You are here to become, to embody the frequency of what you desire, and let the universe mirror it back to you.